We have to answer this question first. What is the Africa we want?
So what am I saying? For example, let me give you another example. We have been to US Africa. We have been to some other engagement with other countries. Now we are being invited for Russia-Africa Summit. We have made a decision, very respectfully as heads of state in Africa, that any engagement with other partners must be an engagement of equals.
So we say we want an Africa that is free of violent conflict and war. What leadership do you produce to get that result? We want an Africa that is free from poverty. What kind of leadership do you need to create to end that poverty? We want an Africa that is free of, that is driven by women's emancipation. Where is this leadership? How do you create it?
And for it to be meaningful, if we are going to meet the president of a country, we have organized ourselves that the troika is going to represent Africa. The chair, the current chair, the past chair, the chair that is coming, and the heads of our regional economic commissions, about 6-7 people. But what happens?
You are stealing public resources. You've accessed power in order to put money in your pocket. This is not the leadership we want.
Hello viewer, this is Lavish Heart News at 9. My name is Alan Abner and this is what...
Good evening our viewers, welcome to Lavish Heart TV News at 9 p.m. You're with me, Ruto.
Natumai uberi ya afya mpenzi msikilizaji, karibu kwenye habari zetu za Lavish Heart ikiwa imetimia saa 7 juu alama. Mimi naitwa Rehema Alfan Langaso.
Continuously, when others want to engage with us, they don't want to deal with a troika. They want to invite 50 heads of state. So we go to a meeting, just explain to me what kind of outcome you expect where 50 heads of state are sitting. Everybody is asked for speak to 1.5 minutes. You speak to for 1.5 minutes. What kind of engagement are you going to get? You're going to get nothing, right? The best that you get is photographs. That's it. Precisely. You get these photographs, they normally line us up somewhere, you know, crowd of 50 heads of state, you know, and that's all we come home with, you know, because there isn't time to engage. Any serious country that wants to engage with Africa, yeah, must respect first our architecture. If we have said we are going to be represented by the troika, why are you inviting 50 people unless you want to sabotage the whole discussion?
African leaders, we don't need to be invited anywhere to go and address our problems without first inviting ourselves to come together to tell each other the actual truth that we must tell each other about our serious problems. For me, when I'm watching on television and I find our leaders who should have been working together all along to address these problems that commonly affect their countries, wait until they are invited to go to Europe to sit there and just, it's like they are made to sit down and address their problems. Why does anybody wait for that? What image does it even give about us, about Africa? In fact, the image it gives is that we are not there to even address these problems. We are there for a photo opportunity. We are happy to sit there in Paris with the President of France and address and just talk about addressing problems. It doesn't make sense that our leaders cannot get themselves together to address problems affecting our people. It doesn't make sense.
We want an Africa that is free of corruption. How do you produce this leadership that is not corrupt? Now, these are the questions that you got to answer, these practical things that President Kagame was talking about. And it's not an easy question to answer. But I think critically, and we were discussing this thing yesterday, critically, we need a critical self-assessment of ourselves as Africans. To say, as President Kagame was saying, we've been discussing this thing about the quality of leadership, challenges we face for a very long time. But when have we sat down to say, now let us assess, no, you Thabo Mbeki, were president of South Africa for so long. Let's assess your performance. Did you provide this kind of leadership that is suitable for this Africa that we want? Where did you go wrong? We got the African peer review mechanism, which President Obasanjo can speak about. That's part of what it was supposed to do, so that we sit as peers to say, no, but the President, you are misbehaving. You are stealing public resources. You've accessed power in order to put money in your pocket. This is not the leadership we want. But we're not doing that sufficiently because we're afraid. We're afraid to speak frankly to one another about the wrong things that we're doing. And I think if we don't do that, we will meet a century hence to discuss the same question. I think that critical self-assessment of the continent is necessary. And I mean a real, critical, truthful self-assessment. That's critical, and I think that would be an important step forward in terms of producing this kind of leadership which Africa wants.